cheers to Diet Coke being labeled carcinogenic in the lamestream media.
That's true.
You notice how they were like a big announcement, big science announcement's coming. Everybody, 72 hours, Diet Coke's poison. We're doing the poison Diet Coke announcement. 48 hours, everybody. And I'm like, what the? Because every like announcement has to be, everything in the scientific community now has to be like, everybody, I'm going live on Twitch to announce my my new scientific discovery about the gravitational waves. But they said Diet Coke is aspartame is carcinogenic, and then everyone else like all the smart people read the paper and they're like, oh yeah, it's carcinogenic if you drink 12 to 36 Diet Cokes a day, and it's as carcinogenic as eating pickles or like fried ham.
Yeah,
so it's like, oh no. I do all those things.
It's weird that they're putting out this information that they've known. The University of London did a 20-year double-blind study on humans and rats and mammals, and they were like, oh yeah, like aspartame it's not enough to like affect, you'd have to drink more than I drink. Like an incredible amount.
A little more than you drink.
A little more, but still, I'm at the upper limit of what's even possible.
I'm at the 12. You're at the 30. You're like 38, 40 on your best
even
days.
Then, it's like, and then the University of Mexico did like a big study too with aspartame. I think that Big Sugar doesn't want, they're trying to be like, just drink sugar Coke.
Speaking of Mexico.
Uh-oh.
I didn't have any topics, but you just reminded me of one. You know our buddy Falconer?
Yeah.
Me and him were talking about...
For those of you who don't know, Falconer's a comic from Utah who's also a biochemist who is so good at being a scientist that he actually got to immigrate to New Zealand, which is like unheard of.
Yeah, it's easy to immigrate to America because we're like, bring us your tired, you're huddled, you're retarded, your second cousin who you say you can vouch for. We'll take anyone. Other countries are like,
a lot of people,
we only want your German Nazi scientists.
A lot of people
need smart rich people.
A lot of people are hearing Max say this and they're like, but it's not easy to immigrate here. Yeah, that's the point. It's even harder to get into Canada or New Zealand. Any of the Commonwealth countries, they're like, fucking no. Go away.
Are you a billionaire? Then we don't want you.
Yeah, so the fact that he got to go to New Zealand and New Zealand was like, actually, we want you. It's like, what? What the fuck?
He's a smarty pants, and then he does stand-up comedy, which is stupid.
Stupid, but whatever. He gets laid.
So we're talking about why I can't lose weight. Well, I'm a big fatso, and we're just making I was making jokes and stuff, but he was like, hey, check this out. And this is on Wikipedia under the Hispanic paradox. Did I send you this?
No.
Dude, there's a thing called the Hispanic paradox. What do you think it is?
The Hispanic paradox? It's where you're white and you're not white at the same time.
No, that's my theory on Latino supremacy, being the Hispanic people are the first super race. We take on any race. We're like the Borg. Assimilate or die.
Yeah.
No, the Hispanic paradox is an epidemiological finding that Hispanic Americans tend to have health outcomes that paradoxically, in quotes, are comparable to, or in some cases better than, those in their U.S. non-Hispanic white counterparts, even though Hispanics have lower average income and education. Low socioeconomic status is almost universally associated with worse population health and higher death rates everywhere else in the world. The paradox usually refers in particular to low mortality among Hispanics in the United States relative to non-Hispanic whites. According to the Center for Disease Control, blah, 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 Hispanics in the United States had 24% lower risk of mortality, as well as lower risk for 9 of the 15 leading causes of death as compared to whites. So basically what that says is, poor black people or the made-up poor Asian people.
Yeah.
When they're poor, it affects them. Like it really like medical issues, cancer. I guess even like poor white people too. When it doesn't state that, but it's like when you're poor, it really it's harder to do everything. It fucks your shit up and whatever.
And you're dumber and you eat worse.
Yeah, it's just everything in your life sucks when you're poor.
Yeah.
Except when you're Hispanic for some reason. For some reason, Hispanic people are just outliers, and it doesn't affect. We're built different. So it's like...
Do you know why? I think I know why.
There's a bunch of theories why, and they don't know why. But they have a bunch of...
What are the theories?
What's your
Can
theory?
I tell you my theory?
Yeah.
I have my main theory is that Hispanic people are family oriented.
That's one of them.
Yeah, and so you guys live in multi-generational housing and stick together as a family, and you're really good at watching out for each other. And so like your stress levels are lower, and stress is kind of what makes everyone die.
Wouldn't that apply to like what other races are like that? Aren't like
Asian people?
Like Asian and Eastern Europeans?
Eastern Europeans too. They live very long, even though they're in like these squalid, wild conditions. I think any group of people that doesn't value like what, like isn't like independent, move in by yourself. When they're like, no, I live with my parents and my grandma, and I fuck my hot wife, and I fucking ride bulls and smoke cigarettes at the same time, and I will live longer than you.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think Hispanic people stick together, and that's
one of those white liberal theories.
I think that's poor white people do the same thing. That's why we have like better outcomes than a lot of other poor people.
I don't think so. There's nothing called the poor white person paradox.
True, you're fair. You know what? Fair. This is anecdotal evidence I'm going on.
So reasons for the paradox, socioeconomic factors. I don't know. It's like a bunch of...
What about Hispanic on Hispanic? Like, are you shooting each other? Because that's a thing white and black people do. They shoot each other, like their own... We're shooting each other. Not white to black and black to white, but like when you're in poor white communities, they're killing each other. And same thing with poor black communities. Do poor Hispanic people kill each other?
This is... a lot of people like to bring up FBI crime statistics and like...
Yeah, which
are like... black on white, white on black. I have noticed... It usually is white on white and black on black violent. Like it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Be your own kind.
Yeah, we live in the same communities, but we can't leave those communities. We're like, fuck it, we'll shoot each other.
So it's very funny when someone tries to bring up that statistic. I'm like, what's the statistic of people attacking themselves? Give me that statistic.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. Let's figure it. Anyways, yeah, there's interpersonal context, cultural values, residential segregation is one where it's just like, oh, well, Latinos come to America and then they go back home to South America to die. I'm like, hey, we're just better than you. Our genes, you're a bunch of thoroughbred, diseased, purebred, old races, and Latinos are the new, we will replace you.
It is a new thing. Being Hispanic is a brand new thing in history. There are very few Hispanic people historically until recent.
Dude, and they're like, paradoxically, it doesn't make sense that they're better than us. Like, it doesn't need to make sense. It makes sense to me. I know exactly why. I'm better than you.
It is crazy that you guys do so well, considering you put on blindfolds and you hit those piñatas. There'd be more injuries.
That makes you tougher.
Does it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And your food, fucking dude. You guys eat so much cheese and pork.
Yeah. All the
crushing it, dude.
I think that's why I can handle dairy like into my into my adulthood, because the white half of me and the brown half of me.
Yeah, they're so powerful. Yeah, true. Also, you guys, like what? Like you've got Aztec. You are in Aztec society. They're like cutting your own heads off all the time. Now you're like, oh, my head doesn't get cut off. I'll just live forever. You're built Ford tough, dude. Yeah. I don't know. That's a terrible theory because Aztecs were just one small section. The Aztec Empire didn't last very long.
Yeah, we got it randomly. We weren't preparing for someone to show up.
The Aztecs actually a big thing of a big misconception is that the Aztecs lost to the Spanish. The Aztecs really lost to every other tribe around that was like, the Spanish are here. You want to fight them? Yeah, fuck these people. Like all the other tribes helped the Spanish kill the Aztecs. They hated the Aztecs so much.
It be your own kind.
It be your own kind, dude. Yeah, dude.
It's always, I was gonna say, how come every group of people that makes pyramids always disappears?
True.
Are we next with the Bass Pro Shop pyramids and the MGM Grand?
Here's my thing. What did the British know that they never built a pyramid? Because it seems like something they'd fucking do.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
No, because they're always building weird shit. Or the French, and then they never
French
did.
the Louvre.
They have the Louvre is just is Napoleon invented the Louvre so he could kidnap like art and shit, which is cool as fuck. The Louvre is awesome. Everyone's always like, France should give all the stuff from the Louvre back. No, suck our dicks. Or not our, like I'm French, but like that shit's lame. Firstly, all the stuff stolen in the Louvre is almost exclusively stolen from other Europeans. That's fair. You're allowed to do that.
How about come get it?
Yeah, that's my thing. Hey, Italy, if you want all your paintings back, maybe you should have won that war, you fuckos.
No, just go grab it. It's yours. If you have a right, if someone took my phone, I would go grab it back. I would steal it back.
There you go. You had your chance. Also,
or if you're from one of those cultures, start stealing things from any other culture and put them in your museums.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like, we got your shit.
I agree. Italy's just bad at it. They were like, wow, dude, we lost to France so bad, and then they lost to Austria, and then they were like, all right, fine. Let's attack Ethiopia. And then Ethiopia beat Italy, the only colonial power to lose a war to their who they were trying to oppress. And they're just like, we are not built for this. We got to go home and fuck our wives and eat meatballs or whatever.
They also have all their own stuff.
Dude.
All their stuff is the Colosseum. That's just a walk-in museum.
Yeah, true. I think that you know what it is? It's they sprinted instead of did the marathon. You want your empire to last a long. They blew their wad in fucking the year the year 0 when they were like killing it.
They're still around though.
They are still around.
No pyramids.
No pyramids.
I'm just saying.
True.
I'm scared for. That's why our civilization's collapsing. We're getting cocky. We're building too many pyramids, and I think they attune to the decimation energy of the universe.
It's true, and the crazier you build your pyramids, the harder you die. Because ancient Egyptian culture is like a complete mystery. Like Cleopatra and those guys didn't understand ancient Egyptian culture. They died so hard that Egyptians 2,000 years ago were like, what do you think Egyptians were up to when they built these pyramids? Like, that's how crazy it is.
That's fair, though.
Do you know who else built a pyramid?
Because I'm like, what were people in the 60s really up to?
Yeah.
I mean, they say they were doing drugs, but what was everyone else up to?
True. Do you know what the craziest one is?
What?
The fucking Native Americans built a pyramid.
Oh, where?
In like fucking Kentucky or some shit, there's this giant crazy like mound of like dirt that they literally spent I don't know how long.
Is that mountain?
Yeah, they like built a mountain thing, and it's like, and people realized over time like, hey, this is a man-made like pyramid, and they like had dug into it and shit. So
do you think if you make a pyramid, aliens show up and come grab like, hey, like that's the universal sign to come get us?
Yeah. As soon as you make a well, maybe there's something to do with the pyramid where the aliens are like, they're figuring it out. Send the other group to get them.
Wow, they moved a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, whoa, hey, stop. There was a pyramid in Richmond that I saw, but it was small.
There's that pyramid in Salt Lake City.
True,
that
but
Dave,
it's also very small.
Yeah, it's like one and a half stories tall. David Tell went there on a episode of Insomniac.
Did he really?
It's like a weird sex cult in there.
Huh.
But not like a cool sex cult, like a tantric, like we're going to hold hands for 30 minutes and our spirits are going to have sex before we don't have sex. The physical sex is not as good as ethereal.
True.
Plainer sex.
Yeah, dude. When I can fuck you with my mind bullets or whatever, that's pretty cool. Make you come. I astral project my penis out of my body and into yours. I when we were in Richmond, they built a pyramid as a monument to the wives of the Confederates that fought in the Civil War. Isn't that weird? If you're a lady, you're like,
so wait,
you spent money on this? Give me money.
It's a pyramid only for the wives.
Yes, it's only for the wives of Confederate soldiers. It's a monument to the wives of Confederate soldiers.
And it's a pyramid.
And it's a pyramid.
So that's really hard to like take down.
Made out of shitty rocks. Yeah. It's like, and it's not like a pyramid like it's not like perfectly cut bricks that are like an architect made it. It's like they just stacked the heaviest fucking rocks they could find into a giant pile, and it's made in such a way that it's a pyramid.
And so
it has a topper on it, though, like a machined topper, like it's cut so that the very top is a pyramid top, but everything else is like rock stacked up, and then it's like a monument to Confederate wives.
That's interesting.
Isn't that why? If I was a woman, I'd be like, what is this? Why would I want this?
It's nice.
I guess.
It's nicer than nothing.
It is. They could have like made like a bunch of dresses or something. Or maybe like the monument could have been like a lady or a gazebo.
No, but I like the pyramid because it's harder that's foresight to knowing that people are going to come tear them down later. You can't tear down a pyramid. That's too much work.
It is a lot of work to tear down a pyramid.
Where the people just leave them.
Do you know what I just realized?
What?
Like what is it? The fourth largest pyramid in the world is in America.
Yeah, it's the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
No, that's what I've been saying for the past 10 minutes.
Oh.
Where have you been?
I've been thinking about the other pyramids.
See, you have a historical mindset where you're like, think of all this stuff that happened in the past.
It's true.
You have a
right now mindset.
No, not right now. I'm like, what's going to happen in the future?
Oh, you're in the future.
Here are all the possible futures that could have. It could be aliens. Latinos could take over.
What if Latinos are aliens?
We're the first aliens?
Yeah, you've been deposited here by the aliens.
No,
kind of like how that one guy
that.
thinks white people are a bioweapon, Yakub or whatever his name was.
No, are they a bio? Dr. Yakub?
Dr. Yakub thought white people were a bioweapon invented.
Dr. Yakub invented white people.
Oh, okay, my bad. You're right.
You're thinking of
I'm thinking of someone else that says propagates
the Nation
this
of
theory.
Islam, the like fundamentalist Nation of Islam people.
Yeah, they believe that a black scientist invented white people as a bioweapon, and then we got out of control.
Makes sense.
It does make sense. It's the plot to a lot of science fiction.
But the one of the popular alien theories is that humans are put on planets to terraform the planet. So like we will terraform a planet and like overheat it and kill it so the aliens can come breathe all the fresh carbon dioxide. This is a guy who smoked a bong once and was like, you know what I think, man? And so yeah, Latinos were the final stage of the biological programming of terraforming an Earth-like planet.
Damn.
Because we can withstand higher temperatures than you guys.
Oh, is that what it is?
We're the socioeconomic factors don't affect us.
Oh, it's true.
Like all the other races.
It's true. You can be poor and really hot.
We could be poor. I've never seen a really, I guess there's rich Latinos.
There are rich Latinos.
George Lopez, the guy who invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Every boxer in Mexico.
Yeah, I think there's
Canelo has like a gazillion dollars.
Wasn't the president of Mexico or the guy who owned like a cell phone company the like richest guy in the world at one point?
Yeah.
Never mind, I take that back.
Or maybe not the richest guy in the world, but he's really killing it.
I think he was.
Also, you're forgetting about the cartel people. They have all the money.
Sorry. My humble Latinos are just the best at everything.
So true, dude. I was reading about the Mexican-American War, and we did win that war.
Who's we?
What?
Who's we?
America.
Yeah, but Mexico is part of the Americas.
Also,
you mean the United States versus Mexico war?
Yeah, the United States versus Mexico war. Also, to give Mexico credit, Latinos helped us fight that. I mean, Latinos live in the United States. A bunch of Latinos fought in that war against Mexico. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it was just like some other thing. Anyway, I was reading, and like one of the main takeaways from reading letters from generals and just reading about this war is that
the war is so long.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hot.
I'm so triste.
All the dudes are like, dude, the women here are hot as fuck. Every single dude is like, I'm trying to get a wife. And I'm reading, and it's like the war with the most war brides.
Whoa.
Like Mexican, because it was like a gentlemanly war. It was like one of the last, like, it was right before this. It was the war we did before the Civil War. And it was like one of the last gentlemanly wars where it was like, it was like musketry and stuff, but like we weren't necessarily hating each other. It was mostly like we would shoot each other a bunch and be like, are we cool? And then the battle would end.
It was one of those wars where everyone's like, hey, meet in this field on Thursday. And we're like, we'll be there. 3 o'clock. We're going to be there too.
It's one of those where it was kind of like, it was more chill. And so like you're having the war, but then when you're pausing, you're having cotillions and shit. Like Mexican citizens were like, all right,
cotillions?
What's up? Yeah, like a balls. Like they're dancing and like having, like all the women are coming out to like do dancing and shit. Well, you don't know what a cotillion is?
I don't think you're pronouncing it right.
What do you think it's pronounced?
I've never heard that word, but I feel like you're not pronouncing it right.
I'm pronouncing it correct 100%.
No, you're probably... I'm
dude.
calling you on a word I've never heard before. And I think
Look it up. Look it up right now.
I feel like you're leaving out a letter.
I'm not.
A cotillion, a CO, because I think you said cotillion, CA.
Have it pronounce it.
I'm about to. An 18th century French dance based on the contredanse. Is that right? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. Pronounce it.
Cotillion.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Get wrecked, motherfucker.
But
Can I tell you this right now? I was not confident. As soon as you pressed the button, I was like, come on. Let's go. I've only ever read the word. I don't know. I've never heard it.
I've never heard the word.
Yeah, I've never heard it either. I've only read it in books.
A formal ball, especially at one which debutantes are presented.
Yeah. So they were having those. And then they were meeting all these hot Mexican women. They were bringing them home. And like... No one talks about, like, it wasn't like one of those, like, they kidnapped them. It was like a bunch of well-to-do Mexican women went home. Well, one of the reasons...
I was going to say, what do you mean no one talks about it?
Yeah.
Because there's no white women to be offended for someone else.
Oh, true, yeah.
Like, actually, there was no white women in that war. It's a bunch of brides who are like, yeah, I'm going to go with the winner. This rules.
And then afterwards, all these well-to-do Mexican women that married all these American officers and stuff, like, helped make relations between Mexico and America good again, because these guys were like, well, my family-in-law is over there. Isn't it interesting? It's really interesting. But yeah, apparently Mexican women have been hot as fuck since day one. So good for you guys. Really crushing it. That war is hilarious. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of fighting, but mostly it's like, they really were kind of like, hey, be cool. Like, and then the Civil War happened and people were not cool. People were really uncool about it. It's a lot of dying going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'd like to fight in a civil war.
Would you? You'd fight for...
I don't know.
Would you be one of those weirdos?
Depends on where the war starts.
The more I've been reading,
East
the
to
more
west,
there's
north
like
to south.
There's like a third weird group.
Oh, what are they?
There's a bunch of third weird groups that were like, we'll fucking do it. They're like robbing and murdering, or just like being lawless, or being like, hey, this one town in Kentucky doesn't agree with either of you.
So you're saying when the Civil War happens between Hillary and Trump, all the Ron Paul people are going to get together. We're like, we're forming our own country.
Maybe. And hopefully it goes better for you than the Civil War people did.
Why? What happened?
Everyone who was like, hey, we're doing a secret third thing. The union.
Both sides are like, let's crush these guys real quick.
Yeah, both sides are like, nah, fuck that. You pick a side right now.
Just like normal
Dude,
politics.
I was reading about the Western Front in the Civil War when Texas was like...
Why'd you read about that? All you need to do is watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, no, the Western, in Good, the Bad, the Ugly, they're not in the Western Front. This is like when Texas was like, let's invade New Mexico.
All right.
And then New Mexico was like, hey, you fucking don't belong over here. And then they just burned their supplies, and all the Texans were like, oh, New Mexico is hot and it sucks ass over here. And they just went home. That's what happened. They just lost.
It's the Russia of America.
Well, they showed up to they tried to come to Utah, and the Mormons were like, hey, no. And everyone was like, all right, Jesus Christ.
If we can't have multiple wives, you can't have slaves.
Yeah. Well, Joseph Smith was pretty progressive for back then.
Yeah. He's the guy who fucked around a lot.
Yeah, he fucked around. He did. He wanted to have sex with everyone, so he was like, hey, what if we were cool with everybody? And Brigham Young wasn't. But anyway, so they were like, no, we can't go to Utah. And then, they tried to go to New Mexico and shit. And all the cowboys, people who live out there were like, dude, don't fucking come out here. You're wrong. Also, Native Americans were like, what the fuck? Get out of here, Confederacy. We're doing other shit.
Yeah, how many there's multiple sides in the Civil War.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. There was a bunch of Native Americans that sided with the Confederacy too, which is a wild thing to read about. But they fought in one battle, and they saw how we were killing each other, and they're like, we're out. This is fucking stupid. We're not doing this. And they all left. Which is really smart on their part.
Do you know what tribe? Were they fighting for slavery? Or was it just for...
They were fighting because they just hate the federal government. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it was
that's one of those things you're like, I don't like slavery, but I do hate federal government.
I think too, I think some of the Native American tribes in the South and East did culturally keep slaves. The Comanche had slaves.
What race were the slaves?
Whoever, doesn't matter.
They weren't racists.
They weren't racist. They were just doing slavery the way it's been in all of history.
I've said this. Slavery is a lot more palatable when you spread it around.
Oh, yeah. No one cares if you do it regular.
This is one of those... it's one of those things where... it's been kind of rolling around in my head right now, and it's not a complete thought, so don't take it out of context or whatever. But I'm like...
Uh-oh.
It is kind of wait a minute, slavery still really kind of, this is where you go super extreme left mode, Mac, where I'm like, slavery still exists.
Yes, there's millions of slaves still to this day.
Well, in prisons,
Dubai, the United Arab Emirates.
But I'm saying places. If you want to be super socialist, well, you being forced into a job you don't want is slavery. So it's let's just take the name off of it and let's legalize slavery again.
Okay, you lost me.
I'm a slave.
You had me and you lost me.
I'm saying it's illegal, but it's I am a slave to the Walmart Corporation.
That's when the North was like, hey, slavery's bad, and then they're like, there's a lot of Irish people here. It's not called slavery over here. It's called indentured servitude.
It's called here's your minimum wage paycheck.
Yeah.
And you can't. There's more slaves today than there are ever. I think that's real though.
No, there are a crazy.
I think
amount
worldwide
of slaves right now.
But then my thing is there's more slaves now because I'm I don't want to fucking work. I want to go eat bugs in the woods, and I can't even do that because the federal government won't let you just go off in the woods and eat bugs. They need you to pay taxes.
They really do need that. But yeah, the Native Americans fought for, a bunch of them fought for the South and the North, but every single tribe I've read about that took part in a battle, they literally started the battle, they saw what it looks like when white people fight each other, and they're like, nope, fuck that, you guys are insane, out of your fucking minds, and they just left. They're like, hey, do you guys notice that 8,000 people's body parts are laying all over this field and you're still fighting? What the fuck is wrong with you? And they just bailed out and never came back.
What, are you gonna fight and you're gonna move the battle?
That's what I mean. Listen, we both know how the civilization acts, modern Western civilization, but they just never seen anything like it. Because they'd been fighting frontiersmen, and the United States government fights them. It would be cavalry battles and stuff. But they were just you fucking so 25,000 guys walk at 25,000 other guys and you shoot each other for 8 hours straight and there's cannons? Are you fucking serious? It blew their minds. They literally were like, Jesus, we're never coming back here. Whatever you guys are up to, you just do that.
Dude, how stoked would it be to win
A battle?
a battle, just any battle?
Dude.
Imagine going like being so scared, and you just even being in the back, even in the back of the line, so you don't even have to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And then people are like, "We won." You're like, "Oh yes."
That's how in the Napoleonic Wars the French fight in like 2 or 3 lines. So they're in these lines. So like basically everyone has to fight. Like no one gets to chill out. But in Austria, they would do this thing called like an assault column, where basically it was like 10 ranks deep. And so you would all just move forward in this big mass of people. So you could conceivably literally just be hanging out. And like they would like
I'd bed
cycle
down.
through, like people would come back and forth, you know.
No, I would like,
But if-
"Oh, my shoe's untied."
yeah, literally there were guys.
Oh, my other shoe's untied.
There were guys who were like, "No, I went up and shot. Trust me on that."
Yeah.
So you could conceivably do that if
Just
you
go
were
5 rows up and then come back 5
Yeah,
rows.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Damn, it's crazy up there.
Dude, there were people who did that. That's what I would have done too. I would have been like,
Dude.
nah, fuck that. Especially fighting the French.
I've been in 40 battles.
Yeah. There was all this fucking crazy shit. It's so funny to do that. And then they would just but they had to stop doing that because the French were like, look at that giant group of guys. And Napoleon was like, shoot them with a cannon. And they're like, is that allowed? And he was like, why wouldn't it be allowed? And they started doing that. And it just really fucking kills everybody when you do that.
Unless you're in the back row.
Well, no, the back row, even the cannonball goes through all of you.
No, I think the back row would probably be fine.
The back row's a little safer, but not. I think that it gets everybody.
I think it gets the first 8 people.
Yeah, you think?
I think 9 is kind of like, ow, but 10, I think you're fine.
It's like when a fat guy gets shot by a cannonball at the circus.
Yeah.
So it just kills everyone, and you're like, oh no, my tummy.
Exactly like that.
Cool.
That guy would have won whatever army. They should have gotten a bunch of fat Turks to stand in front of the cannons.
And just absorb them.
It's like when you
and wear goggles.
It's like when you Bugs Bunny a handgun. It doesn't have enough momentum yet. It
Oh,
just blows up.
yeah, you put your finger in it. True. That's very funny. Yeah, dude. That wouldn't work in the Civil War, though. Their cannons were really good. And they had exploding shells back then. That's so fucking crazy to think about. It's so I was reading about that thing with the Native Americans. I was laughing so hard. They're so smart. Just be like, nah, fuck this. We're out. This is stupid. They saw like the cannons that explode, and they were like, we're fucking, let's go home. We've got 10 years before they come over here.
Cannonball explode.
So you have a canister shot, so that it would be like it basically
Is it just like a firework?
So you put the primer is back here, and then you have a bunch of like cotton or whatever, and then the front of the explosive, when it impacts, it blows up and sends shrapnel everywhere. And because you have like a cushion in between, as you fire the cannon, it doesn't just blow up in the barrel, and then when it hits, it explodes. They also had like timed charges too. Like they were pretty advanced. But yeah, and then they had they had fucking the shotgun blast.
I like how that technology is just like we're still just using guns.
Oh yeah,
It's
dude.
like no laser gun. People are still trying to make rail guns, but it's like, yeah, you're just shooting a piece of metal really fast at someone.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
It is pretty
It's all
cool.
the same concept.
And poking each other with sticks.
Yeah, no, you're just poking someone with a stick from very far, a little tiny stick from very far away.
That's what we keep doing. We just keep trying to get as far away as we can to poke someone. It is crazy. The stick has killed more people than any weapon ever invented.
I'm saying every weapon is basically a pointy stick.
Every weapon is a stick, but literally a stick is the weapon that's killed the most people by far. For sure.
You're talking about the jab.
the jab.
You're talking about. I know exactly. I'm reading between the lines.
Dude. Pointy things, they'll do it.
Wait. So tell me about your Uber ride.
Oh, dude. I got the worst Uber ride.
What happened? Where were
It
you?
happened
Where
in
were you?
Minneapolis, of all places.
Were you headed to a show or from a show?
I was headed to the airport from the weekend. So I call an Uber at like...
How was your shows?
The shows are great. Thank you to everyone who came out. Fucking salute. You guys are awesome. Bunch of Cowboy Boys fans.
Is this at night?
This is 4:50 a.m. I called.
All right. That makes a lot more sense.
So I call an Uber at 4:50. Well, but usually when you call an Uber that early, especially not in New York,
4 a.m. is not early. That's late.
But like
4 a.m. is the latest of the late. 5 is early.
Usually when I call an Uber that late, I get like a go-getter, like a guy who's like, either I'm a worker, I'm just fucking crushing out hours, or he's like, I woke up at 3 a.m. because I knew that I would make more money from the rides people need to the airport in the morning or whatever.
You did get a go-getter.
I got a so I got firstly he showed up and he was honking in front of the hotel, like laying on his horn,
like he's your cool prom date.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So I walk out and he's like, you him? And he's like standing outside of the car, which Uber drivers never do. And I was like, I'm the guy.
What kind of car was he driving?
He was driving like the most beat up fucking like Saturn, like a 4-door, like I don't even know. I don't know what kind of car it was. Maybe a Toyota or something. I could probably look it up on my
Dodge
app.
Neon, a Saturn.
Yeah, just like a piece of shit, like that the windows still roll up.
What color?
Gray.
All right.
Or silver.
Sure.
Anyone's guess. It was pretty beat up. I get into it, and this guy is like, he immediately is like, he's like, so, what did he say? He goes, late night? Like I'd been up all night, and I was like, no, I slept a little. I'm pretty tired, though. I had to go to put my headphones in, like, and now I listen to music until I get to the airport. And he was like, yo, man, I just watched the movie Inception. You ever see that movie? I was like, oh, no. Oh, fuck, no.
What does his car smell like?
Cigarettes.
Okay.
He's been smoking cigarettes in the car for sure.
Nothing else?
I mean, it smelled a little like crack cocaine.
Okay.
It had that, like, you know, like it has that like almost rancid sort of tart smell. Have you ever smelled crack before?
I've smelled crack once, and when I smelled it, I'm like, I knew exactly what it smelled like because the description is when you smell it, you will know exactly what it smells like. Because like having working in like industrial fields and like being exposed to different chemicals or like having like just paints and solvents, you're like, oh, ooh, gross. Or like even weed stinks or like you're around smell. Nothing smells as bad as like. It's like a dagger shooting up your nose into your brain that's just like, alert, do not put this in your body.
Yeah. It smells like smelling salts, cat piss, and cigarettes together. It's crazy people smoke it.
I mean, the results seem to be worth it.
The results seem to speak for themselves.
So yeah, when someone's like, I smelled crack, I'm like, I bet you did.
Yeah, you know it. Trust me, you'll know it when you smell it. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Well, my thing was like, oh, I'm imagining this car's just fucked up. So he's like, you ever seen Inception? And I was like,
have you?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Inception.
Did you like it?
I saw it in the theater. I got out of the theater and thought that was an all right movie.
I also thought it was all right.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't see why people think it's profound. I just think it's a cool like science fiction movie with some neat set piece scenes and like.
I think it was one of the last movies before Marvel ruined everything that everyone got to be like, that was new and interesting.
Yeah.
And everyone got to talk about it, which was kind of fun.
That Robert Pattinson movie where they fight a war but they go in reverse is pretty wild. That was a new, like, where it was like, oh, you did something new, but like no one liked it. I don't remember what it was called.
It's new?
It came out like a couple years ago, but I remember being like, hey, look, an original property. And of course, no one's talking about it because it's not the reboot of Ghostbusters or whatever. But
was it Devil Time?
No.
Tenant,
that's the one.
Yeah, everyone said that sucked.
Yeah, but it was an original idea.
Yeah, it was an original sucky idea. I think everyone said it sucked. I haven't even seen it, and I'm not even wasting time because I'm like, I'd gotta trust everyone's opinion.
I didn't see it, but I like Robert Pattinson so much.
You like Tenant?
I didn't see it. I'm gonna say sight unseen. I like it.
All right, sight unseen. I think it stinks.
Okay, so
we should start reviewing movies based on everything we've heard from people we trust.
Yeah, I think we should. I think the idea of telling people what you think a movie is and then watching it and being like, oh, that's what it was.
Did you see? Funny concept. Did you see The Lighthouse?
No.
That was really good.
That's what I heard. Anyway.
Did you see
Willem Dafoe's canceled now though?
What? No,
yeah, because he did that movie with Shia LaBeouf.
No one cares.
I know. No. I mean, people care,
What
but
movie
no
did-
one who matters cares.
What movie did Shia LaBeouf do?
They did a movie about not Pedro Pascal. They did a movie about a Catholic saint, this guy, this Italian bishop or whatever that used to do mass. I can't remember. And Shia plays the bishop.
Oh, is that the movie that made Shia LaBeouf Catholic?
Yeah. No, he was Catholic before that, I think, actually.
Anyways, so you haven't seen Inception.
Padre Pio is what it's called. I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch that, actually. What's that?
You haven't seen Inception. You saw Inception.
No, I
Sorry.
saw Inception, so I was like, I saw it, man. It's a crazy one. And he goes, yeah, dude, they think we're stupid. I'll watch that movie. They think we're, we're in a dream. They think we're fucking stupid. You know what I'm talking about? And he's not looking, he's fully looking at me like massive eye contact, not looking at the road.
He's doing the Dumb and Dumber?
Dude, in the, yeah,
the
but
limo looking back, talking.
the tone of his voice was like, hey, if you don't talk to me about this, I'll kill us both.
What was his rating?
His rating?
Could you see?
I didn't. I
don't
should have
know.
looked.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either. I'm sure he
At
had
4 a.m. it's probably like, hey, you get who you get.
Yeah, dude. So he was like, they think we're fucking stupid. Like, he was mad at Inception because he thought Inception thought he was dumb. And I was like, oh, yeah, man. And he goes, you know what I'm talking about? And I was like, yeah, dude, I do. Like, I just agreed with him. And then he was like so angry and he's driving. And then he starts talking to me again. What was he talking about?
That is when someone's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I know exactly
what you're about, bro.
I understand you completely.
Oh, dude. And he was like so manic. And then he was
How many
like,
other people were on the road?
not very many.
Okay, so he could.
I mean, yeah. I
Also,
guess.
I think your depth, your field of view probably widens when you're on crack.
Oh, you think so?
So
Because your eyes are big.
their eyes are bulging out of your skull.
And you have superpowers from crack.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it gives you superpowers. Why else would you smoke it?
crack is the opposite of Inception. You come out of a dream into a higher state.
You're like you're like out of a dream twice.
Yeah, you're moving faster.
It's so funny to do crack and watch Inception. That's a mushroom movie.
That's like a one beer movie.
Oh.
Like it's not that. It's not that. That's not like a whoa. I don't even remember like what the point of Inception is. It's like you're in a dream world and that's
The point of Inception. I think the thing with Inception is
like what is reality?
A lot of Inception asks a lot of weird questions, but people are like, and it's a philosophical movie. No, it's an action movie that just asks weird questions. It's not supposed to be profound. I think people attributed profound things, and I think Christopher Nolan made it, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's just a wild ass movie. Why do you think I was trying to like say something deeper? Leonardo DiCaprio he does a heist in your dreams. Because that's awesome. Why do you need it to be more than that?
Because other movies you could be like, you could summarize most like movies. Interstellar, love transcends time and space. That's what the movie's about.
Sure, yeah.
When Tenet, a movie I haven't seen. If you go backwards in time, you'll get a bad movie review. but Inception, I'm like, what is that movie about? What was it trying to convey? Like Terminator 2. Hey, be careful with robots; they'll get you.
Yeah.
That's like a good.
Also, we need robots.
Yeah, but that's like. It's the same with Dune. You're like, okay, yeah, we should be careful with AI, but we're still going to make computers smart, like whatever. A lot of movies have like a cautionary thing or like a takeaway. Books, there's a main moral point. Star Wars, you'll be like, hey, the good side usually wins. Also, family, stuff like that. I don't know. Name a movie. We could summarize any movie.
Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
That's the one I haven't seen.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's the one you'll like the most.
Probably. I did see it when I was like 6.
Oh, that's a weird one to see when you're 6. It's scary.
Yes.
I'm gonna see the new Indiana Jones.
But I'm gonna say all adventure movies are like, hey, your friends and family are fun to have adventures with. Like that's every adventure movie.
I think the point of Inception is like, whoa, it's the Matrix. We get to do Matrix stuff, but it's not.
See,
Tom Hardy has a grenade launcher, and I'm like, all right, I'm in.
The Matrix has like dozens of like things you can pull from it.
Yeah, there's a book called The Philosophy of the Matrix. I read it. That's so dorky to be like, I read a philosophy book about a science fiction movie.
Nah. Speed Racer. That has a lot of...
What are the lessons from Speed Racer?
Speed Racer, the main lesson...
If you want to race, you have to have speed.
No, the lesson of Speed Racer is brotherly love.
Brotherly love or just family love?
Brotherly love defeats all. Have you seen Speed Racer?
I've seen Speed Racer, yeah.
I think you've seen it. I don't think you watched it.
You know what? I'll agree with you there.
I think there's a lot of people who've seen Speed Racer, but didn't watch it with their hearts open.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Because anyway, I don't have brothers. And Speed Racer made me like weep for brotherly love.
Brotherly love isn't necessarily a family thing.
No, but it helps.
That's fair.
If you have a brother.
I saw this viral thing on Instagram where this woman was like, all my friends, all my relationships with women, all my friendships make it so hard to date. These women support me unequivocally, and they're so good to me, and no man can stack up against my friends. Oh, hey, did you discover friendship? You fucking idiot. That's everyone's experience, you fucking dog shit moron.
I was thinking about this also. Because
yeah, friendship is easier than romance.
It goes back into can men and women be friends and the friend zone and everything. And I was thinking, I'm like, I bet if I could fuck my male friends, we probably wouldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
Because we'd be fucking.
Yeah.
And then the one time my male friend is like, I can't fuck right now. I'm like, you fucking bitch. I need to come in your ass right now.
Yeah, dude.
I hate you. I hate everything. I hate you. And I would just start like, once you have sex with someone, it becomes, the stakes are higher.
Yeah, romance fucks it like it's the reason it feels so good is because it's so hard.
The stakes are higher.
Yeah, the stakes are higher. It's
and
weird.
So you've unlocked this passion where every time you offend me, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, same. I'm like, okay, and I just continue on with my life.
Yeah, that's my friend.
It's because no matter, my friends don't owe me anything.
They don't owe me sex.
Yeah.
Like someone who you've had sex with.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny to all these people in there were like, well, it's like women, but like this isn't a male female thing. It's just like all these people being like, yeah, men can't stack up against my female friends. They support me. And I'm like, this is what incels say. Yeah. You guys are fucking stupid. Yeah, no, this isn't like a men versus women thing. This is you're discovering that real adult friendships are meaningful and beautiful, and they're easier than romance.
Also,
what are you talking about? It's so stupid.
Also, if you're a woman and you want me to be nice to you and have sex with you, you better put a ring on my finger.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Make me an honest man.
You don't get both. You get one or the other, but to get both, you got to put a ring on my finger. That's my wife is my only friend who I have sex with.
I also find that everyone I'm friends with is pretty nice to me. A lot of the people who try to date you or whatever, they like neg you and do weird shit. You're like, why are you acting like that?
They're horny.
Yeah, when you're horny. No, you can't think straight when you're horny. It's true. They're like rude. They like talk shit. Like, oh, your clothes look stupid. Why do you wear that? Why do you have that? They always, and I'm just like, that shit irks me. Anyway. When you say it, I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You know, and I don't even care. But when someone I like says, I want to fuck says it, I'm like, hey.
That hurt my feelings.
Yeah, are you going to fuck me later or what? Do you not like me anymore? Like, you're insecure, even if you're not.
This crackhead is driving you around.
So the crackhead is driving me around. Yeah. The crackhead's driving me around, and he's very cracked. And so at one point, we're going like halfway through the trip, and he's been saying unintelligible things and asking me if I agree, and I've been agreeing with everything. And then he goes, the fuck does the computer want? And he's literally like looking down. He's looking down at the bottom of his steering wheel, not at the computer or the thing, because by the way, the GPS is on full blast. The GPS is turned up so loud that when she starts talking, we can't hear ourselves.
Okay.
So, and nothing else, silence.
No
it's
radio?
only the GPS, yeah. So she's like, turn right here. And he's like, what the fuck does the computer want? Why is it telling me to turn right? And he's like yelling at no one. He's not talking to me anymore. And I was like, what the fuck? But he does what the computer says. So he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's like freaking out. So he's supposed to turn right here. You know how you have like the dirt like hill? He literally like went up over the hill at like 80 miles an hour.
The median?
It's not the like, you know when the freeway like splits?
Okay, like an
exit.
Okay.
Yeah. He like went up on this like gradient hill, like he's not on the road. He goes up there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then so he's mad at the computer, but he did what it said to the point that he almost killed us. And then right afterwards, he goes, "Oh, you going to the airport?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Dog, you're the Uber. You pick me up to take me to the airport." He's all, "Oh, I thought you were going to like," and he said some weird like Harrisburg or some shit. And I was like, what? I've always been going to the airport.
You have been saying yes to a lot of his questions.
It's very true.
So he's like, "You going to Harrisburg?" You're like, "Yeah, can't live without him."
Yeah. You're right. And I might have done that anyway. And then he took me to the airport, and then he took me to arrivals instead of departures. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. Let me out.
Was he driving fast?
No.
Oh, that's the worst.
No, he wasn't. He was driving at like a medium speed.
Because I'll forgive a bad driver if they're driving fast. I hate a bad driver who drives slow.
Yeah.
If you're driving slow and bad, I'm like, get me out of this car right now. If I'm going to crash, I want to crash big.
Yeah.
I don't want you to... It's so frustrating when someone's a slow, bad driver. You got there. What'd you rate him?
I gave him 5.
You gave him 5?
Yeah, I think it's funny that he has a good rating and he'll get someone else in his crack car.
Did you give him a tip?
Yeah.
How much?
I gave him like $3 because it was only like a 2.5 mile trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think as all the tech companies are collapsing because interest rates are actually going up, and so all the investor money is burned through now, that they're going to get more and more desperate? So
you think prices are going to go back down?
No.
Oh.
I think prices, that's why every website is like clamoring for money and trying to figure out, because the free ride is over.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if
we're so close to the bubble collapsing.
I don't think the bubble's collapsing. I just think it's going to be, we were riding high, and now everything's going back to normal, and everything's stabilizing to normal. It's like, yeah, someone has to pay for this $1 billion website.
I think everything about history says that we get high, we crash, everything is bad. We get high, we crash, everything is bad. It just happens over and over.
You don't think there's a middle ground?
There is no middle ground.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, we crashed before World War II. We got better. We crashed again, Vietnam. It got better. We crashed again in the 80s. It got better. We crashed again after the 90s. It got better. We crashed again in 2008. It got better. And now we're going to crash again.
I just think how funny it's going to be if we just start hiring, if Uber starts hiring homeless people to drive, like, hey, do you want a house you could sleep in and drive around and make money in?
Remember that one year?
It seems like a good idea.
It does. Remember that one year at Coachella when they paid homeless people to walk around with wireless routers on their necks?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
That was wild.
What happened?
And then they tried to do, everyone got mad at them. They're like, what?
Did it work?
Yeah, it must have.
Did it? I mean, how much do they get paid?
I don't know. That was my thing. It was like, if you're paying them, if you're only giving them $10, then like, yeah, fuck you. That's fucked up. You're exploiting them. But if you gave them like $100 to walk around for 6 hours with a wireless router on their neck and enjoy Coachella, then I don't give a fuck, dude. That's the thing where people are mad when pranksters pay migrants to do non-work. And I'm like, hey.
Who's mad at that?
I
love those videos. I love the video where a YouTube prankster will like pick up a bunch of day laborers and then be like, we got to go to my son's birthday party.
Yeah.
And then they're like, have a good time. They get them day drunk.
Yeah.
You know who's mad at that? Their wives.
Yeah.
Like, look, I have all this money. And they're like, you're drunk. And I'm like, this YouTuber paid me. Like,
dude,
the wives are just angry that they had a fun, productive day without them.
I saw one where he took a bunch of day laborers to the beach and he was like, I just need you guys to help me put on the best barbecue possible. And these dudes were like, we fucking got you. And they can hardly speak English. And so these dudes are like barbecuing. Like 3 dudes immediately were like, we're the barbecue guys.
Yeah.
And these other guys were like setting up the stuff. And then they had like a beach day. And you know, have you ever played the football game where you both lay on your backs? Usually you do it in the water, and then you get up and one of you has a ball and you have to try and get past the other guy.
I've never played it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, it's very
I always
fun.
see a petite white girl versus a big, like, athletic college black man
Yeah,
against each other for some reason.
Oh, and it's always on TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
and she wins somehow.
No, she doesn't. She gets her, the videos I'm watching. She gets decimated. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Who said thought this was a good matchup?
Yeah, I mean, people get drunk and do that. I've done it. I mean, or not drunk, but I love that shit.
Tackled a drunk white girl.
Oh, actually, I have tackled a drunk white girl. Now that I think about it, but anyway, but they were doing that. Like these Mexican dudes were like, yeah, fuck it, get us in there, and they were like rolling these college kids. Like one big fat Mexican dude, like he just like stood up, turns over, and the kid tried to go over him, and he did the thing where you flip them into the air, and everyone's going nuts. And I was like, this is one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life, dude.
It's a Latino paradox. You think we're not up to stuff, but we're better than you.
Just some 50-year-old migrant just fucking just rolling some college kid, dude.
That's the thing. Everyone's just like, I think that's like a joke. Is like once black guys get into hockey, then hockey's gonna be over for white people. It's like once Mexicans get into the NBA, it's over for everyone. As soon as Mexicans start figure out any other sport than I don't know,
boxing.
Mexicans dominate boxing.
Bull riding.
I was gonna say Puerto Ricans with baseball dominate.
True.
Japanese and Puerto Ricans decimating baseball, dude. Any sport that Latino soccer.
True. Oh yeah, you're right. You guys are really good at that.
So good. If we could figure out, Latin America needs to do what China did with what's the one basketball player?
Yao Ming or whatever.
Yeah, we need to get our tallest Latinos at 5'6",
yeah,
5'6" man.
Yeah.
And
they can dunk though. They figure it out. Like they can dunk.
We just need to have our top Latino scientists breed the tallest. Once they invent a 6-foot Latin man, it's over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The world, it's gonna be done for white men, black men, Asian. The second a 6-foot Latin man comes,
I can't
around,
wait for that, because if you have 6-foot Latin men, that means 6-foot Latin women are on the way.
Ooh,
boy. Blah, 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 blah.
So, anyways,
Bring them to me, baby.
you know what I would do with Mexican day laborers?
What would you do?
We should, if I was like I'm thinking we should start our own paramilitary group. Like
training them? You just bring them to the range?
We don't need to train them. We just, whenever we need extra soldiers, we go in front of the Home Depot and we're like, hey, we need to hire you for a weekend or two.
Dude,
so we just go fight.
That's what I would have done on the January 6th.
Is hire day
I
laborers.
would have hired as many day laborers as I could, and I've been
That would have
like,
gotten done.
no, it's cool. They said we were allowed, and they're like, "Are you sure?" Yeah. Go in.
No, we need to build renovate the bathroom deep inside the building.
Oh fuck, dude. They fucked up, the January 6th guys.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. They didn't wear masks.
No, I think they
all went to jail.
I think they half of them were feds that will serve no prison time.
Well, yeah, of course, but the ones who didn't they fucked up. They're going to jail. And the one lady who got shot,
The one lady she did fuck up.
no one talks about her, dude. No one gave a fuck.
What are you talking about? Everyone talks about her.
Dude, police brutality. They shot a white lady right in the chest in front of everybody, and everyone's like, "All right."
It wasn't police. It was Secret Service.
No, he was a Capitol police officer.
Oh, well.
He might have been Secret Service. Maybe they're like trying to keep it on the low. Because I thought it was a Secret Service agent too, because he's wearing a suit. But then everyone is like, "No, that's one of the Capitol like police officers who's stationed there." But who knows? Who gives a fuck, dude? She deserved to get shot.
No, I wouldn't say deserve, but she was in the right place in time to get shot.
I'm just saying, like, as far as police shootings go, when an entire mob is breaking into the building and you're like, hey, stop. You're not allowed here. I'm gonna shoot you. It's like he couldn't have been more clear with what he was gonna do.
Sure.
Listen, I'm an American. If you go onto someone's property and you're not loud, they could shoot you.
Yeah. What do you think? They should have hired day laborers to counter protest to protect.
That's sick.
No, you can't come in,
Dude, hired. And go to the anti-abortion like a rally where they're rallying around Planned Parenthood and hire day laborers with shields to protect the women.
Ooh, I was gonna say
That'd be fucking sick.
Whenever you
dude.
see Nazis protesting, we'll get a bunch of day laborers like, hey, you want to go kick these guys' asses? We'll pay you.
Here's bear mace.
I don't understand.
Dude, liberals are such fucking pussies.
Yeah, but the Nazis are showing up and no one
sprayed them with mace. No one shot them with paintball guns. No one drive-by pepper sprayed them. No one threw water balloons at them.
just for fun.
Just for fun. If there were a group of Nazis in Times Square and someone told me, I'd be like, oh, let's go throw shit
Let's
at
go
them.
fuck with them.
Yeah. What do you mean? It's your one chance to be evil for free, and you like, oh, no, they were there. It's like when the Proud Boys get together.
Well, the Proud Boys are cool.
Yeah, but if you're so mad at them, go fight them.
Yeah.
The only time it happened was in Philadelphia.
But I'm saying Nazis are bad. I want to get a bunch of Proud Boys to go fight the Nazis.
Oh, that'd be really funny. Hell yeah.
We actually like black people.
That'd be so funny. Proud Boys are embarrassing, but
every good movement gets corrupted by feds.
that is real, technically.
I know.
Yeah.
But I want to put this last idea out there. When it comes to disrupting protesters or Nazis or whatever. How come, have you ever seen those train horns on drill guns?
Yes.
I think that needs to be utilized more in protests. Because it's like, there's like bear mace and like shining lasers at stuff.
Yeah.
I think a train horn just would really be good at protests.
And you put on headgear and you just blared the horn and just laid onto it and didn't let it go, it would fuck everybody up.
People would be pissed.
Yeah, dude. They would really mess them up.
That's my contribution to Project Mayhem.
There it is. I like it
for the week.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, we gotta buy some lasers, some train horn guns.
Did I ever tell you the Westboro Baptist Church went to Utah and protested the synagogue? And me and my brother and all of our friends went and threw eggs at them. It was pretty funny. Allegedly. I mean, whatever.
They're worse than Scientology. They'll try and sue you.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this is a story that's made up. So it's a comedy podcast. I'll say anything for people to laugh. But yeah, it would be funny if you did that. But
that's the thing.
This was back when, by the way, this is in the early 2000s, but mid 2010s when people were like, hey, when liberals were still doing the, do you really want to punch a Nazi? Is that what you want to do? Because they were like, we were all like, this is so funny. Look at what we did. And a bunch of people, this is right before I started comedy, actually. A bunch of people were like, hey, so you think when people do free speech, you can just attack them? Yes. Yes, I do. Fuck off. Suck my whole dick.
They have the freedom to say whatever they want.
And I have the freedom
no, you don't have
to
the
wild
freedom.
out.
I'm just saying your freedom is not a constitutional protected freedom.
Okay,
Theirs is.
Fair. True.
But I'm just saying actions do have consequences.
They do. And my consequences could come get me, but they won't. So...
Well, that's the thing is they don't. The Westboro Baptist Church doesn't actually go after the people who attack them or counter protest them. They usually will file a permit within a city, and then if they get attacked, then
they're like, you didn't protect us.
Yeah, the city did not provide ample protection for our right to, and so it's just like. I don't know. Just keep doing it enough till they stop. It's not worth it for them.
It wouldn't work in Utah. They'd have to take it to federal court. Because if the Westboro Baptist Church tried to sue a city in Utah or a state, all those judges are Mormon, and they'd be like, "Nah, fuck your stupid religion, suck our dick. We're not impartial." Bye. It would not work in Utah. One of the cool things about having a major religious majority is people who like the Westboro Baptist Church have no power in Utah. They're like, "What about our rights?" And Utah's like, "Fuck your rights. What about our right to morally look at the situation and judge it for ourselves?"
I just don't get.
It's good for you.
I don't get protesting. When it comes to counter protesting, when there's a Christian guy, like a fundamentalist Christian on a college campus, and it's like a bunch of teenagers are just like yelling, be like, "Fuck you!" And like, hey, just go up to him and go up to him with like fart spray and start smelling really badly, dude. Like, there's so many more clever ideas than whenever I see someone screaming at someone. I'm like, you're wasting so much energy that you could be putting into like fun. Hire a bunch of day laborers to
just go stand around him,
just to stand around him and be like, "Oh no, you don't. Your Bible is not right."
I think ignoring.
Well,
nothing makes people more insane and damages you more mentally than just simply being ignored when you think you have something important to say.
Yeah, but also, there's so many people who can't ignore anything.
Yeah,
say anything stupid online, and you'll have 100 people be like, "You fucking idiot." It gets me all the time with someone. That's the trick. Is, God damn it, some stupid person.
No, it's true. I think that counter protesting for like a real, like a group of people, that makes sense because if you believe in your cause, you want opposition. But like when I do see a lot when it's like 3 people or a guy and they're like, "Hey, God, you're doing it wrong. God is real, and you're a sinner. You're gonna go to hell, you harlots." It's like, yeah, ignore that person.
Here's what I would do.
Ignore them.
I would get a bunch of chicken juice. You know, the juice from chickens?
Yeah.
And mix it like with water. And then I would like fill like a water balloon or like a squirt gun with it and throw it at their feet. I don't want to splash them because then they could be like, "Oh, it was assault."
Yeah.
But splash it in their area. So then a bunch of flies come.
Oh, gross.
And are just bothering them. Looking at, I mean, that was just off the top of my head.
Can you release a pheromone that attracts bees? Looney Tunes style? Just have bees show up?
I don't know. I don't know how honey works.
I don't think that's how it works. I know you can get if you get like if you get hornets and you kill one hornet, it releases pheromones and all the other hornets will show up and be like, "What the fuck happened to our guy?" So you could do that.
That would be cool. If you could harness the power of bees.
Yeah, dude.
To attack people. That's one of the bosses in Metal Gear Solid 3, by the way.
Is it really a guy who has bees?
Dude, you got to play it. It's the
I
best.
really do have to play it. You're right. You're right.
The Bee Man.
Damn, dude.
His name is...
Queen Bee is a villain in DC. She's a major one. She has her own country. She's the president of a country.
Good for her.
Yeah, dude. She's a real girl boss.
Anyways, you got to go surf, right?
I got to go surf. I do. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this and you want one more episode for every episode, you could pay $5 on patreon.com/cowboyboys. Isn't that incredible? You get twice as much Cowboy Boys. That's great. Hey, what's the second thing? Cowboyboys.store? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, we have merch. I saw a bunch of merch this weekend. Thank you so much for everyone who wearing it. Dude, our hoodies look good.
I know.
It's awesome.
Wait, why are people wearing hoodies? It's 80 degrees.
It gets cold in a little room, dude. When you go to a movie or something, you got to bring a hoodie.
That's insane.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sweating.
I sweat too, but hey, I appreciate everyone. Yeah, that's it. Patreon.com that. Also, I have dates. Come see me in Delaware. Come see me in Portland. Come see me in Las Vegas. Come see me in Tacoma, Washington. Fuck, I don't know where else I'm going. Oh, in Europe. Hey, or not Europe, the UK and Ireland. I'm going to be there. Scotland, which in my heart is a separate country from the United Kingdom. Fucking come through, guys. Also, if anyone has any advice on traveling around, I have to plan this, and it seems like I have to fly from Scotland to Can I take trains? I probably can. I'll figure it out. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. You got anything?
No.
All right, love you all. Bye. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.